Hi there, we're going to do some choir warm-ups. Now, it's been a really long time, probably, since most of you have sung a full rehearsal or anything like that. So we're going to start out with real basics, and this video is trying to focus specifically on getting your voice out of lockdown mode and trying to get things moving in a more fundamental way than we usually have to worry about. So let's start out just by breathing what I call bellows breath. You imagine that you have a pair of bellows in your hands, and as you breathe, you're going to bring your hands outwards. As you bring them outwards, you breathe in. As you pull them together, you push out. Ready? Really try and be aware of the shape that your lungs are making when they're expanding and contracting. We want to have a three-dimensional expansion, not just up, down, but really side to side and front and back as well. Let's do a couple more of those. And I'm making a shape with my lips to accentuate the sound. That's not just a sound effect. It helps me to be more aware of how the air is moving. I encourage you to do that as well. Let's do like 3 more of those. Good. Now, before we get to singing proper, I want you to just get ready to make some noise, not on a pitch or anything, just say blah, blah, blah. First, say it like you're speaking volume. Blah, blah, blah. I know for most of the past 6 months, most of my speaking has been either to my phone or to Ashlyn or somebody else who's in the room with me, not very far away. There hasn't been a lot of noise. I haven't had to project. So start with that. Blah, 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 blah. Now, imagine that we're in a room this size, and there's somebody over on the other side of the room, and you're just saying hi. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Now try to take that sound and put it more in your throat. Blah, 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 blah. But now put it up here and in the nasal area, and it's really forward sound. Blah, 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 blah. In this sound, in this space, I can really hear how that echoes and bounces off the walls much more strongly. You may have a different space in your house or backyard or wherever you are, so you may not hear that feedback quite as nicely as I do here. But if you have a space with an open wall, you should be able to hear something as long as that wall is about 20 feet away. So now imagine that we're going to do the same thing. This time we're going to say hey though. So first I'm going to say hey to you in this camera. Hey! And I'm saying hey from down here. I'm taking a deep breath, hey! And that's why it's got that H, to kind of force that aspiration down here. Now I'm going to say hey to somebody on the other side of the room. Hey! Hey! Like I'm trying to get their attention. Now we're going to imagine over on the other side of the exit door, there's somebody who is there's something about to fall off a shelf and hit them. And I really want to get their attention, but the door's closed, so they're not going to hear me unless I'm really loud. Hey! Hey! You notice how my everything expands here right before I say it? My jaw drops in order to let the sound out, and I sort of my body almost stiffens right before I say it. That's entirely unconscious. It's not something that I'm thinking about doing. It's something that my body does in order to be able to make myself heard all the way over there, right? Hey! That's the kind of sound that the kind of posture that we want when we're singing, right? So next we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 as a lip trill, or as on a V, or even a Z kind of sound. What's important here is to make the air move as much as you can. Lip trill really forces you to make that air move, If your lungs are not wanting to push enough air to do a lip trill, then start out with one of the other two, the V or the Z sound. This is C major. There we go. Let's do C major again, actually. You can hear I'm even having a hard time doing it. I haven't been singing very much at all for the past 3 weeks in particular. So let's go down actually one. Is to imagine pushing out right here at the bottom of my rib cage right before starting that. Let's do that again. Another thing that helps is to kind of push out right here at the stomach muscles there, and to sort of breathe down into that. Right there. Thank you. And here, at this point, I want to say again, the emphasis is not in trying to be loud. The emphasis is trying to create as smooth of an air current as we can through that little arc of an exercise. So if you're not able to create that smooth air current as we go higher, then pause the video and try the individual pitch level you're at again before you move on. And if it's not working, be patient. It might take a few days for your muscles to get back into the habit of doing things. So, lip trill, where were we? Let's do 2 more of those. One more. Good. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm also starting to relax a little bit and sink into the pattern of doing things. And I'm feeling my posture is getting better. My shoulders are becoming more square. My chest is up and out. So those are more things to think about as we go through this. Now let's start with B major. No, B flat. And let's do and really get that diaphragm moving down here. Ready? And go. And we want to be careful, we want to really be mindful in this warm-up of trying to create that tall space in the back of your throat. And that's, the vowels help you out here. E, E, ah. Ready? Ready? And go. As I'm doing that, there's a metaphor that helps some people, which is to think of having like a grape or something like that in between your molars. And that sort of helps you feel that nice dropped jaw. Helps you keep that jaw dropped through the entire phrase instead of some people try to use it to use the jaw to help support, and we don't want to do that in general. Okay, one other thing that I should say at this point, some people some people sent emails talking about how they were feeling very self-conscious when they were singing, especially after watching their recordings of them singing. Something that you can do to practice not paying attention to that is when you do a warm-up, you can put your hands over your ears, and that prevents you from really hearing yourself, and it forces you to focus on the feeling of what you're doing. And especially when you haven't been singing for a while, you want to be listening to what your body is saying about stress spots. And if something's stressful, try and take a step back and figure out why it feels stressful. And definitely do not push it, because that's going to form bad habits. So if you're feeling some point of tension, or if it's sometimes when I haven't sung for a while and then I sing, I get this kind of really tickly feeling, especially if I haven't had enough water. So try and be aware of that. Let's do the alphabet warm-up. Start with C major, I think. Ready? And go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. A little faster. Ready? And go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now that's probably going to be about as long of a breath as you can do right now. It feels like pretty near my limit too. So if you have to break that up into chunks, don't worry about it. Just as long as you're practicing trying to make big phrases. Let's do from the bottom again, more of those. We'll do 4 of them. Ready? And go.